Hello, and I'd like to welcome you all again for the 172nd time to the old schoolhouse here in the hamlet of Butterstone in Perthshire in Scotland for another wee half an hour Saturday night. Few songs and a wee chat, and I've had a really busy week. Those of you who have been watching my Facebook or my posts on my Facebook will know that I'm restoring my old 1947 Ferguson tractor. And it's been an incredible amount of work. And I spent all day today wrestling with the big wheel on the back, trying to put it on my own. And it's not an easy job to try to wrestle this. And so my arm, I'm aching, and I hit my thumb a couple of times with a hammer. And so I'm not in greatest shape. And then, of course, just before we started, just before we went on air, we've got a bat flying around in the old schoolhouse here. Now, it happened one time before. We have a wee colony of bats, and normally they're live in behind the wood here, but normally they go out a wee hole outside, you know. But every now and again, one gets confused. I don't know, and they come in here and they'll fly around a little bit. So if you see anything flying around, that's what it is. It's the bat, and it will eventually find its way back up there and go outside. So I thought I would start with this wee song, which was requested, and this is not a song I do at all. I don't ever think I've ever done it on a live show, maybe once or twice, maybe, but. And it was requested for Andrea Smith from Union, Maine in the USA. Hi, Andrea. And Andrew Duncan from Keith in Bamshire. Keith's a nice place. And it's a song I wrote after the passing away of a young friend of ours. She died far too young. And it was tragic. And but I got this kind of vision of, I'd lost quite a number of close friends by that time, and I had this idea of her down in the woods at the Lunan Burn, which runs down, the Lunan Burn runs down past the house here, and there's sort of woods, and I imagined her in the woods with all the other people, you know, and that made me feel better, you know, like they were kind of, you know, they'd all known each other. And so I wrote this wee song, and I'll give a wee shot of it now because it came out of Duncan's hat as a request, and I'm determined to try and keep doing them, even if I'm not that familiar with them, or something that I don't play all the time. I'll try. I heard her laugh as she cried. Start that again. I heard her laugh as she smiled. I saw her dancing away down by the barn like a young child at play. And she was standing with friends I had known, together as they moved along through Clooney woods on the wings of her song. A new day is beginning with all of nature singing a rustling embrace through the hazel and thorn. Another day will open, but every heart is broken. A long embrace, valley it wakes with the dawn. Lost in the blink of an eye, I saw them drift through the trees. I heard their voices sing inside the breeze. Across the loch as the silver light fades over water reflecting the light. saw her dancing away down by the burn like a young child at play. And she was standing with friends I had known, together as they moved along through Clooney woods on the wings of her song. But a new day is beginning, and all of nature singing across London Braes through the hazel and thorn. And another door will open, though every heart is broken across London Braes. The hated it wakes with the dawn. Don't do that again, Nick. And a new day is beginning, with all of nature singing across London Braes through the hazel and thorn. Another door will open, though every heart is broken across London Braes. The valley it wakes with the dawn. Thank you very much, and that's my wee song, London Braes. It was getting better at it as I was getting through the song. It's one of them things, if you don't sing songs, if you leave them for a long, long time, it takes a wee while for the wee brain to kind of get locked into it. But anyway, it's lovely. That's why these broadcasts that I do from the school here are great, because I can do things like that, and there's nobody out there to throw rotten tomatoes at me. I'm going to do this wee song with it, and this. The next couple of songs are for the Global Choir, and we've done these couple of songs before, so you guys will all be pretty familiar with the choruses of these. And this is a wee song that I wrote one time when I was pretty disillusioned with things, and I decided that I was just going to stay in my garden and just going to stay behind the walls of my garden and just and not kind of connect with the outside world. And so the chorus is easy. You sing, I'll disappear over the garden wall. Everything's clear over the garden wall. The sun shines brightly each and every day. It chases my troubles away. And that's the chorus. And could you please welcome to the stage the wonderful Tatty Faces, because I forget who are going to accompany me tonight with their usual virtuosity. And they've been having a good laugh all week watching me with this tractor. You know, they just can't get their heads around why I would be even interested. But it's a wonderful old thing, and I'll show you when she's finished. We'll have a wee. I'll make a wee video or something so I can show you. So anyway, so here we go, and. For those of you who are interested, this is my little Tarn tenor guitar, and I got it made for me by a wonderful guitar maker, and it's a great wee thing. I love it. It's a strummy thing. How did it come to this? They broke every rule. Now it's everyone's failure and everyone's fool. How could it all so fast come tumbling down? Now it's let me make myself clear. I'll disappear over the garden wall. Everything's clear over the garden wall. And the sun shines brightly each and every day. It chases my troubles away. That's the chorus, so we're going to sing it together. Here we go. I'll disappear over the garden wall. Everything's clear over the garden wall. And the sun shines brightly each and every day. Chases my troubles away. We said that we'd overcome the guilt and the fear. Oh, and sister and brother would hold each other near. And this land would be yours, and oh, this land would be mine. But these dreams scattered empty and withered in time. And let me make myself clear. I'll disappear over the garden wall. Everything's clear over the garden wall. And the sun shines brightly each and every day. Chases our troubles away. So this is where you sing it on your own. Are you ready? Give me a mouthful, whatever libation you have beside you. Bit of global choir going now. We're going to. I'll disappear. Getting the vibe here in the old schoolhouse. It's very cold in here tonight. It's suddenly got cold again. I'm getting a wee warm vibe. We'll do it again. That's in the one. We're going on your own again. I'll disappear. The bats just come out. I don't know if you see it. Everything's How did it come to this? They broke every rule, and now it's everyone's failure and everyone's fool. Oh, how could it all so fast come tumbling down? myself clear, I'll disappear over the garden wall. Everything's clear over the garden wall. And the sun shines brightly each and every day. It chases my troubles away. And well done, well done with the singing, guys. That was good. I enjoyed that. And that's my wee song about hiding in my garden. And I don't know if you saw the bat flying around there. It's I nearly kind of did a duck like that. I thought it was going to hit me. They're amazing though. They will never hit you because they've got kind of sonar and they can fly around and they'll come right up, right beside you, and then just at the last minute turn. It's amazing. I'm going to do this wee song, and no, I'm going to use. And it was funny in that song. I could hardly hold the flat plectrum. You know, I've been using big hammers and moving big drills and things all week, and my wee hands are like that. Anyway, maybe the stupidest, not the most sensible thing for a guitar player to be doing, but anyway. This is a song I've done a lot, and I've done a lot on these broadcasts, but I thought we would do it again tonight just as a wee, another wee chorus song. And I usually tell a big long story. It's a story that a song I wrote in Anchorage in Alaska. And I was there when when a volcano erupted, and I got stuck in Anchorage for about 5 days. Now, I normally tell a big long story about it, but you've all heard the big long story hundreds of times, so I'm not going to tell the big long story. I'll just tell a wee quick thing for those of you who might not have heard the big long story. And I got stuck in Anchorage anyway, and I thought the song's called "The Shadow of the Mountain," and I thought that was a great metaphor for life, you know, because it seems as if, you know, as human beings, as we go through life, we're living life in the shadow of a volcano just about to erupt at any time, you know, and wreck all our plans. And so that's where the song came from. And the chorus is easy. You sing, for those of you who don't know it, I'm going to just go through the chorus once with you. You sing, "We're in the shadow of the mountain, don't you know? We're in the shadow of the mountain everywhere we go. We're in the shadow of the mountain. Yes, that's true. We're in the shadow of the mountain, and there's nothing we can do." And there's some requests here. That was for Garden Wall was for Leslie and Helen Rose from Lincoln in Lincolnshire. And this is they're both regular choir members. Yeah, I could hear you singing, guys. I could hear. No. No, the choir's brilliant, and thanks for being part of it. You know, anyway, that was what that's what. And this song has been requested by Ross Smith from Dalkeith. Hi, Ross, and for Jimmy Walsh in Vancouver, in Canada. Well, that's pretty near to where this song was written. So we'll try it in a minute. We'll do the chorus once just to get the thing started. Okay, here we go. This. We're in the shadow of the mountain, don't you know? The shadow of the mountain, everywhere we go. We're in the shadow of the mountain. Yes, that's true. The shadow of the mountain, and there's nothing we can do. Day and everything's changed. all my plans and the things I had arranged. The smell of danger in the cold night air. Something's happening, you can feel it everywhere. We're in the shadow of the mountain. Don't you know? The shadow of the mountain. Everywhere we go, we're in the shadow of the mountain. Yes, that's true. The shadow of the mountain, and there's nothing we can do. That's what you sing. We'll do it again. We're in the shadow of the mountain. Don't you know? The shadow of the mountain. Everywhere we go, we're in the shadow of the mountain. Yes, that's true. The shadow of the mountain, and there's nothing we can do. The old man says she'll go real soon. You can tell by the color of the moon. It was the same back in 65, but I'm still standing. I'm glad to be alive. We're in the shadow of the mountain. Don't you know? The shadow of the mountain. Everywhere we go, we're in the shadow of the mountain. Yes, that's true. The shadow of the mountain, and there's nothing we can do. Came in from Dutch Harbor, now I'm free. 10 weeks fishing on the Bering Sea. Feel good, yes, I feel alright, and no mountain's going to stop me getting drunk tonight. We're in the shadow of the mountain. Don't you know? The shadow of the mountain. Everywhere we go, we're in the shadow of the mountain. Yes, that's true. The shadow of the mountain, and there's nothing we can do. Sing it on your own. The bats flying around, it must like this song, I think. It probably does. We go on your own. We're in the shadow. Brilliant. With the wee harmony. We're in the shadow of the mountain. Don't you know? The shadow of the mountain. Everywhere we go, we're in the shadow of the mountain. Yes, that's true. The shadow of the mountain. It's been the same since the day that we arrived. So many dangers, it's amazing we've survived. But you've got to keep laughing, got to take a chance, and keep on singing on this journey that we dance. We're in the shadow of the mountain. Don't you know? The shadow of the mountain. Everywhere we go, we're in the shadow of the mountain. Yes, that's true. The shadow of the mountain. And one last time, we're in the shadow of the mountain. Don't you know? The shadow of the mountain. Everywhere we go, we're in the shadow of the mountain. Yes, that's true. The shadow of the mountain, and there's nothing we can do. Thank you very much. And that's the wee song I sung in, I wrote in Anchorage while I was stuck up there, and it was great actually. It was so I'm coming to the end of the half an hour now. I'm going to do this wee song, and it's going to have a wee mouthful of a wee tickle in my throat. And yeah, so I hope you're all well and all staying cheery. And I've had some great stories and excitements doing this tractor renovation. Things that have nothing to do with tractors, but just to do with human beings, and it's just been brilliant. And I needed a particular tool at one point, at the beginning of the week, and it was a really special tool, and I couldn't for a particular job. And there's a wee tractor garage about 5 miles from here. I tried everywhere, I interneted it, and I looked everywhere, and couldn't find one of these particular tools. And I went to the wee local tractor garage, and I asked an old guy that was there, and I said, the older guy, and I says, have you one of these? And he went away for 5 minutes. He went away and pulled out this big old wooden box, and he says, is that what you're looking for? And it was the perfect tool. And he says, I haven't used that for 30 years, he says, but it was in this box. And I love stuff like that, you know. I love the kind of, by doing something like repairing restoring this tractor, it's brought me into contact with all kinds of interesting people who've all got an opinion on how to fix something, you know, and all got wee ideas on what you should be doing. Anyway, we're going to finish with this. This is an older song of mine, and it was requested as well for Rosemary Teviotdale in Edinburgh. Hi, Rosemary. And for Joe Connor in Sydney in Australia. You couldn't get two places further apart, Edinburgh and Sydney, could you? But so this is an old song, and I don't really sing this either very much. Restless fool, can't you wait a minute longer? Oh, restless fool, can't you wait until you're stronger? For there's things that you don't know about harvesting the field. There's things that you don't know, and without a little time, they may never be revealed. Oh, restless fool, don't leave them all behind you. Oh, restless fool, you'll disappear, they'll never find you. For there's things that you don't know, how the lady likes to dance. And there's things that you don't know, and without a little help, you may never find the chance. Restless fool, you don't hear a word I'm saying. Oh, restless fool, you can leave, but I am staying. For there's things that you don't know about this wild elusive dream. And there's things that you don't know, and it's certain sure nothing is the way it seems. restless fool, oh restless fool. Thank you very much, and that's my wee song, Restless Fool, and that brings us to the end of our wee half-an-hour soiree tonight, and I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you're all staying cheery, having a nice. You can feel that spring's not far away now. The snowdrops are out. My bees are all out. I've got all my bees are out. In fact, I fed them a couple of weeks ago, and it's a wee bit worrying actually. I fed them a couple of weeks ago, and then I went out and looked at them this morning, and I had to go and feed them all again because they'd eaten everything that I'd given them. And it's far too early in the year, but now I'll have to keep feeding them till the warm weather comes, until some flowers come out. So, but anyway, that's the way of nature. And but anyway, thank you very much for joining me. Thanks to Jenny. There's just me and Jenny in here tonight, and for Jenny for pressing the buttons. And thanks to the Global Choir for their usual spirit-lifting renditions of the choruses and the vibe in the old schoolhouse. Thanks to the tatty faces, to Duncan and there's a tatty face to Amber and Vitini there, for their usual virtuoso accompaniment. And thank you very much. Look after yourselves. Stay cheery, and remember to smile like a tatty face. Night, night now, and have a great weekend.